Yo, did we just get a Skyrim reference? Did we just get a direct Skyrim reference in an anime? Yes, we did. Fuck yes, we did. And it was great. And just for that, Zero Kara is already up on the list for me. It was great to see that in this episode. Mercenaries in a town, and another mercenary said to him that I used to be a mercenary just like you until I took an arrow to the knee. Oh man, that was great. That was refreshing to see. Oh man, I never thought I would see that ever. You know, usually like when they do stuff like this, you might just see a character slightly dressed or something, but to see the direct quote, I straight up fanboy when I saw that. But anyway, Grimoire of Zero, episode 2, Zero Kara, whatever you want to call it. This was, you know, the standard episode 2 format, and what I mean by that is they took the time to slow down and explain things that are going on in this world and expand on a little bit of things that we couldn't do in the first episode. And now that we got the pleasantries out the way, the world can open up a little bit more and we can get a better understanding of what is going on in this world, as our daring duo is now turned to 3 with Albus joining our main characters now. He's going to be on this journey with them as they try to go to his stronghold in order to get the Grimoire of Zero. And Albus, you know, it's kind of a nitpick, but they call him a witch, and I always thought that male witches were either warlocks or wizards, so, you know, it's just a little irritating me a little bit that they called him a witch, but it's nothing to ruin the series or anything. It was just a point out. And he's a very naive kid as well. In fact, Zero used his naiveness to basically get what she wants out of him. She lied and told him that she wrote the Grimoire Zero because, you know, he's a naive kid. He doesn't know any better. So she also lied about the book was actually stolen. And it seems like this sect of sorcerers, the Sorcerers of Zero, who are fighting for the peace of the witches, are ran by a man who stole this book, and Mercenary knows this is true as well. He's like, okay, so why didn't you just tell him that that book was stolen? And she was like, are you kidding me? If I do that, then we won't have our easier access. This is going to make us easy. If this kid believes us, he's going to take us right to where we need to go. So, you know, she's crafty. I really like that about Zero as a character, and she used that to her advantage in this episode. And the biggest thing of this episode, because we're dealing with a war here, we actually get to know a little bit more about the witch named Sorena, the witch that was killed and kicked off this war in general. And the war is just a big thing that's going to be said in this video a lot, because you know that when you're dealing with war, there's always two sides of the battlefield, and you never know who's right or who's wrong. You just know somebody was completely wrong to start the war, but they may have had their own intentions, and you never know, because what we've seen, we know and we learned from last episode that Sorena was killed because she was blamed for starting the plague that wiped out a lot of people, you know, humanity, all the sickness and everything that was going on. But while that was going on, she was actually trying to stop the plague. So we learn a lot about her as a character, and our heroes actually go into a town that is full of witch hunter lovers. And one of the guys is explaining that, you know, yeah, these people are fighting for their independence, but when this witch raid came around, these witches were killing everybody, men, women, and children. So even though this retaliation seemed like it was the right thing to do for the witches, you got people out there that took it a little bit too far, and they were actually killing people that may not have anything to even do with this. So now you got two sides to the war, and Albus is very naive to that. He just thinks everybody was bad-mouthing Sorena. But these people actually, I don't know, it kind of left me a little bit conflicted, because these people have a reason to have a hatred for the witches because of that, because they just wiped this town out completely, and I can understand why they wanted to hunt these guys down. It was also a strange turn of events in this episode. I'm beginning to see some things form as maybe something's being set up here, because they were going into the town. It was a man that gave them a tomato. And also, they found a ring when they were talking to Albus by basically saying, you know, what are you doing? Where you come from? They were getting to know Albus, and they found a ring that was full of magic, and they put it on, and both of these items end up getting them into some big trouble into the town, because it was an older lady who couldn't find her ring. And when they saw that Albus had it, when he said, here it is right here, maybe this is it, they automatically blamed him and called him a thief. And then the tomatoes that they had, they're like, you can't get these tomatoes from this town. You probably stole that and brought it in too. And then once it was discovered that Albus was a witch, because when they badmouthed Sorena, he went like kind of on a tangent, that caused them to have to take chase, because now everyone was trying to kill our main characters. And I feel like it was a setup, or maybe it was just bad luck for them all together, because they are being hunted. Remember that Zero was being hunted by another witch, so maybe they probably planted that ring, or maybe this guy who had the tomato knows something. It just feels like it's a little bit more of a coincidence. And we also learned that Morena was something called a mooncaller witch, and they were basically like professional witches. They used their witches to, you know, heal people and to help villages and things like that. So we also find out that, you know, it was impossible, because Mercenary actually brought this up, like, is it a possibility that Sorena maybe did start this war? And Zero was like, no, she loved the people. She loved working and helping the people, so I don't understand why she would do something like that. And also Albus was saying she was trying to actually stop the plague, but she was too late. So now that brings us down the rabbit hole that somebody actually started this thing. And you know, it's always good and it's always evil. So this opens up this world a little bit more to the fact that there's somebody out there manipulating things going on that actually wanted this war to start, possibly. And I can tell I'm gonna love this series. I can tell it's gonna be pretty long videos, because there's a lot of things racing through my mind, a lot of things going on in this series that I really want to get into. And I really want to know more about Sorena. I want to know more about Zero as well, because I'm pretty sure she's gonna have some type of connection. And also the old lady in the town, she actually helped them escape when things got hairy, because these people were coming for Mercenary and the others' head. She actually helped them escape, and we found out that she was very close to Sorena. As a matter of fact, she was a witch herself, and that's why she ended up helping them get away, but she felt guilty. And the reason why she did this is because Sorena actually gave her the ring that she that she lost. So when she got the ring back, she told them a story. She was like, she actually wanted to marry a human, and Sorena was like, so you fell in love with a human just like my daughter. So here, take this ring, get married to this man, and this will keep you in hiding, and do not reveal yourself no matter what. Go on, live your life, and be happy. And it was kind of heartbreaking that this old lady was there when Sorena was burnt at the stake and blamed for starting the plague. And even though she was about to speak out, Sorena like shook her head and told her, no, don't. Keep this secret with you no matter what. Keep your happiness, it's fine. So you can also see how Sorena is seen as a martyr as well. She really does seem like she was a pure and good witch. And man, I really did like this episode. This is going to be a good series, guys. So our journey continues to actually get to the Sorcerers of Zero and try to get this book for Zero. And we're left with a couple of questions as well. Like, who is this he guy who's only referred to he? Of course, in the opening, we probably saw him in like that shadowy figure. That's another thing. The opening itself, I expected this to have like a little bit more of a fantasy feel instead of being so happy. It's not to say I don't like the opening, it's just not my favorite of the season, because I expected a different tone for it. But yeah, who is this he person that is worshipped by the Sorcerers of Zero? I'm calling it pretty early that he probably has something or has some knowledge of somebody that started all this shit, because Zero's keeping something from Albus for a reason, and I got a feeling this guy's going to end up being our villain. Also, you know, with the two sides of the war, that was very interesting as well, because, you know, humans and witches are at war, and there's always people going to an extreme, which we saw in this episode with the witches actually raiding this town and killing innocents. These were probably people that didn't have anything to do with witches being killed. Yes, they did kill Sorena, but they didn't have to kill everybody, you know what I'm saying? So that's interesting to see that side of things as well. We're seeing the relationship build up between Zero and Mercenary, as she's like, you know what? I like having you around. I like that you're such a pure person, because remember I said it back in the first episode, Mercenary doesn't hate witches, he just hates that they made his life a living hell. So he does have a soft spot there. We got some comedy between the two with Albus and her and Zero. As a matter of fact, you know, Albus was talking about Sorena like she was very beautiful and she had some big boobs, and you saw Zero sitting there looking at hers like, so if I don't have any. So that was pretty funny as well. I love this episode. Another solid outing of Grimoire of Zero. So guys, let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments below. Let me know some of your theories, because right now we know that Mooncallers were the good witches. So who are the bad witches? And do you think this he person, do you think he's responsible, or he's part of the people that are responsible for this war to begin with? And I'll catch up with you guys next week. So as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now. You chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that. So thanks for stopping by. Be sure to like the video, share, and subscribe if you have not already. And on that note, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.